Alrighty, we've got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. Let's just get to it, shall we? I'm Charles Rantham with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Beginning in Sapporo Night 1 and 2 events. Let me know your thoughts on both these events in the comments, please. Just to get it out of the way, I apologize for the delayed coverage in regards to these events, and I apologize also for having to take both events, Human Centipede them together into one video, because this may be happening more with any New Japan coverage I do, because I'm going to be busy a lot with work and other projects. So if there are certain events that I can't cover, I apologize. And if there are certain events that are delayed, that's just how it's going to be. That being said, it's nice to hear the roar from the crowds. It's just so nice to hear New Japan fans getting loud again, being able to get loud. It's been sorely missed. I know we had at Wrestle Kingdom, and I know they've been getting it back and everything. It's just great that things are going more back to normal. And even though the wrestlers have done everything they could to make the events as great as possible, and the crowds, stomped their feet, clapped their hands, made as much noise as they could. It's just nice that they can finally share their passion vocally. So, the top of each of these cards, pretty goddamn good overall. Title matches, big feuds, big fight feels, and the undercards. It's nice that they, have certain things bubble up during these undercard matches, but really you could skip the first half of each of these nights and not really miss shit, because they're just standard preview tag matches. Pretty formulaic for a lot of New Japan shows. So, I like how they do the video packages, good stuff, hyping up both cards, and also this coming Saturday's New Beginning in Osaka, where we find out if Hikuleo or Jay White will be leaving New Japan, or leaving Japan. Who knows? They might just go to the Strong brand and just wrestle less. That being said, Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton on commentary. Great-O-Khan versus Oscar Lebe. Let me just say this Lebe guy, this Oscar guy, really, really tall. Had a nice big boot. Got a nice power slam at one point and did a nice Boston Crab spot, but eventually did fall to the Sheep Killer. Gave O-Khan quite a bit of stuff. Look forward to see what Oscar can do in the coming years. House of Torture. No. I hate the House of Torture. Can't stand to see any of them. Even though I want to see Evil go out on his own, they put him right back in a faction where he hasn't really had any success. Sure, he was a double champ, and by and large, the public did not want to see that show. He's a wash, and Yujiro doesn't really mean anything, and Dick can get the hell out of here for all I care. So anyway, Suzuki, Despi, Narita, and Oiwa are their opponents. It was great to hear Minoru, Minoru Suzuki. Hear the fans cheering for him. Narita has improved a ton, and eventually he got a Cobra twist, or abdominal stretch. He was twisting Dick to the point that Dick just couldn't take it anymore, and tapped out and went flaccid. And anytime you twist a Dick enough, it's eventually just going to have enough. It's just going to, and that's it. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. Might as well be gross, because House of Torture is gross and a blight on wrestling. And it seems like Narita and Suzuki, may they possibly be teaming up? We will find out. So, Team ZSJ, Team MDK, Zack Sabre Jr., leading Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols, along with Fujita, the young lion that Zack Sabre Jr. has taken underneath his wing. Goto and Yoshihashi, Bishamon, Tomohiro Ishii and Nakashima with his injured elbow and glorious hair that he can just hit people with, because it's so glorious. Was a cool double submission spot by Zack Sabre Jr. and Fujita. Nakashima just use the power of your hair to just wipe people out at one point. Elbow lock, because Nakashima has an injured elbow that will always haunt him. Fujita got the victory. Zack Sabre Jr. is very proud. Tanahashi, Tamatonga, Hikuleo, and Master Wato versus Jay White, Kenta, ELP, and Taiji Ishimori. Same as it ever was. I mean, it's a preview tag. That's what you're going to get. It's hyping up Hikuleo versus Jay White on the 11th. And also Tamatonga versus ELP for the Never Openweight Championship. Makes sense that they would do this. And also Master Wato and Ishimori are having a feud out of the four-way match that happened at Wrestle Kingdom 17. And eventually a sudden flash pin. Pins Ishimori. Master Wato pinned Ishimori. Maybe Wato can get a personality next. I'm sorry, that's mean, but he doesn't really have a personality. Okada, Yano, Taguchi, and Yo took on LIJ minus Naito. So that is Sonata, Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and, of course, Hiromu, because we have to have Hiromu here because he's going to be facing Yo in the main event of Night 2. Also, Okada and Shingo are going to be having their match on the 11th. Yano is also there. Taguchi was there to take the pin with Last of the Dragons. It was nice to hear the crowd very, very loud, I do want to say. It's probably going to take a bit for me to get used to not saying that because we had it for so long with, fans being unable to cheer, even though I'm sure they wanted to. Yeah, Last of the Dragons pins Taguchi. Hiromu and Yo battle around ringside, hit each other into the barricades, and there you go. Okay, we get Francisco Akira, and unfortunately TJP versus Doki and Kanemaru. Taka Michinoku in the corner because they're two force of just 4 guys. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match. This got better as it went along. I don't care about TJP. I just zone out when I see him. He's fine in the ring. Akira's pretty goddamn good. And they are a good team. I start to not care about the junior heavyweight tag division because it kind of all blends together. There were some good near falls. A nice double submission spot. We got a day break from Doki. That was pretty good. A good stomp. We got a lot of good near falls here, but eventually we got, I believe it's called the fireball. Knees to the back of the head from Akira. 1, 2, 3. The crowd was really into it, especially in the final moments, thinking Doki and Kanemaru might get the victory. This wasn't bad. This is where things picked up a little bit. And then we get Taichi versus Will Ospreay. And can Will Ospreay bounce back after losing to Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom 17? Well, yes, he was going to win this. I don't know why anybody would have been surprised by that. The idea was Ospreay wanted to prove his toughness. Taichi and him kept going at it with kicks, chops, strikes. I hate the Poison Rana. Hate it. Don't care how safe they are. I hate it. We got a hidden blade. More strikes. Taichi just finally gave one back, but was rocked enough to where eventually we got a Stormbreaker. 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. I'm not going to say it was a classic. I'm not going to say it was necessarily my favorite. But as far as the story it told, it was fine. I have said my opinion on Ospreay, and I will continue to hold that opinion. But also, you can check out what I said about Ospreay versus Kenny Omega on my Wrestle Kingdom 17 review if you want to hear that. Not a bad match at all. And then we get Shota Umino versus Naito. Referee Red Shoes, a.k.a. Red Shoes Umino, who is the father, by the way, of Shota Umino. I know, shocking. Shota got to show off, Shota off, as it were. Naito was a little bit of a step off at times because, Shota was able to outsmart him for a little bit, but then Naito's veteran, a veteranness, I guess, if that's even a word, took over. We got a lot of neck targeting. We got a big dive from Shota to a pop. We got an STF that's kind of playing on the whole thing with Keiji Muto taking on Tetsuya Naito, I believe on the 21st. No, I'm probably not going to be watching that because I simply don't have time. We will see. We got 2 rolls of the dice. Whatever happened to Reno, I wonder, from WCW? Actually, wait. Whatever did happen to him? I think he passed. Did he pass away? God, I hope he didn't. Would have felt bad writing him off. We got more good near falls. We got Destino for 2 after a DDT spike where it really looked like Naito was going to be done. But then we got the second Destino. 1, 2, 3. It makes, if Naito wasn't going to face off against Keiji Muto in his final match, then I would have been perfectly fine with Shota getting the victory here. The reason he didn't is because Naito's doing that. So, yes, it's disappointing Shota didn't get the victory, but he's got years to go. Barring a huge injury, he's got years to go. If he's not on a winning path by, say, the G1, and I'm not saying he needs to go on and win the whole damn thing. If he's not on a winning path by the G1 this summer, then maybe we could start to wonder a little bit. But that's it for night 1. And now, after night 1, we go to night 2. Now. So there we go. Taichi, Kanemaru, Doki, and Taka against the United Empire. Will Ospreay kind of taking it easy, but also fighting against Taichi. And then we get the respective IWGP Junior Tag participants again. It was fine. This is where kind of the second half of like this double header kind of all blends together. Fine for what it was. Taka eventually falls to the hidden blade, and there you go. House of Torture, once again. Fuck House of Torture. They took on Suzuki, Desperado, Narita, and Nakashima. Hey, the Cobra Twister variation from Narita taps out Yujiro. Yujiro took the fall, not Dick. I'm a bit surprised by that, but then again, it's Yujiro. Beating Yujiro is pretty goddamn easy. I think even some fans have beaten Yujiro in matches. I'm not saying he's not tough, he's just usually always beaten. And then it seems like Narita agrees to let Suzuki take him underneath his wing. There we go, good stuff. And also a never openweight six-man feud with Suzuki, Despy, and Narita against House of Torture. Please take the belts off of House of Torture and please disband House of Torture. Don't get rid of the people, just do something else with them. Tanahashi and Wado took on Kenta and Ishimori. Kenta and Tana had a playoff like, oh, who's going to get cheered more? I love Kenta's boss battle theme, by the way. Good pace and a buckle shot after the buckle pad got revealed, and then feet on the ropes, 1, 2, 3. Ishimori beats Wato. We're going to go, 2 out of 3? Watch them do 2 out of 3 falls or a 30-minute, as many falls as possible. 30-minute Iron Man match. Maybe Wato can find a personality by then. So, Tamatanga, Hikuleo, and Jado against Jay White, ELP, and Gato. Okay, so it was usual melee, usual bullshit, usual whatever. Hikuleo kept trying to really, destroy Jay White, but Jay White kept eluding him because that's what Jay White's able to do really well, is play a defensive wrestler. And the crossface taps out Gato. There you go. Afterwards, ELP hits Tama with the Never Openweight Championship. Easy for me to say, to build to that feud. LIJ minus Hiromu, because he's in the main event, taking on Okada, Yano, Taguchi, and Shota. Put Shota and Naito in the cup and also in the G1. Just give us this. Give us this long-running thing where Shota finally beats him. Maybe he beats Naito in the G1, and that's how they do it. I'm over Taguchi's antics. The shock was the Rainmaker not pinning somebody, but the Rainmaker pinning Sonata. I would have figured they would have gone with Bushi. Bit surprised Sonata took the pin here. Wonder if Sonata's alright. Anyway, so now we're through the first 5 matches. We get to Bishamon. I think it's Bishamon. Goto and Yoshihashi against TMDK, Haste, and Nichols. Nichols at one point, this is IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match, by the way. Pace was pretty good from the beginning. Nichols took a scary bump into the corner and over the top to the floor. They called this one move, it's a powerbomb suplex, Olivia Newton bomb. I popped big for that. I am hopelessly devoted to that song reference. I hate myself for that. I really hate myself for that. But Olivia Newton bomb, that's good shit. Near falls. There was a miscue that almost led to new champs, but nope. Shoto, 1, 2, 3. Yoshihashi is still one half of the IWGP Tag Team Champions. I will never know peace. So, obviously they were going to win. They were going to win here. So, Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. TV Championship match, 15-minute time limit. Zack Sabre Jr. proclaimed he would beat him within 5 minutes. It took him nearly 3 times that. It was good stuff. Ishii cannot have much time left. As tough as he is, as hard-nosed as he is, I don't really think he's got that much time left. Great counters, as you would expect. Great strength on display by Ishii. Great technical work by Zack Sabre Jr. Plenty of counter strikes. Gets down to titty gritty. I believe that's how that saying goes. Zack Driver out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3 with like 15 seconds left. Good stuff. And Ishii, of course, giving Zack a hell of a fight, as you would expect. Speaking of a hell of a fight, what in the hell did the great Lord Cthulhu did Hiromu decide to wear? What was he wearing? What in the world? I can't even come up with the proper words. That jacket was ridiculous. I mean, it fits for Hiromu, but nevertheless, Hiromu and Yomu, as it were, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. Yo does not have a personality and can't get a personality to save his life. And I know that's saying, I'm saying that about a lot. I'm glad they gave it a shot with him and Sho, but I hate to say it. I don't know if I would have broke them up. Because I think Yo pretty much hit his peak at the BOSJ 2021, beat him with like that finals. I mean, I think that's pretty much his peak. He focused on the knee of Hiromu. Other good stuff, nice figure four spot, well paced. Both these guys are very good wrestlers. Hiromu is a shockingly good wrestler. Shockingly, because if anybody that first looks at him, you're like, I don't really know what to make of that guy. Don't worry, people that have watched him for a few years still don't know what to fucking make of the guy. But crowd was really into it, really into it. Big Dragon Suplex, Time Bomb for 2. Direct drive, that's a nice counter there. We get a stuffed pile driver. It looked like, might be able to pull it off. Nope. Time Bomb 2, 1, 2, 3. Hiromu wants all the belts. Basically what he proclaims, according to Chris Charlton's promo. But there you go. Not bad. Not a bad, 1-2 punch of events. The main matches, the top 3 matches of both shows, delivered, and the undercard matches were fine for what they were, except for the House of Torture stuff and the usual antics that you'll get. But nevertheless, cheering crowd, can't beat it. Agree, disagree what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.